So this is where the material gets really fun for me, when we start talking about interpersonal relationships, love, and sex. I definitely find a lot of the other material interesting, but this is the fun stuff for me. It's what I love researching and studying and talking to with just about anyone who will listen. And I hope that you'll find this material fun too. It's especially likely that this material will relate to you in your lives right now. So this week's material is all about friendship and love. And you probably already know a lot about what we're going to cover when it comes to friendship, because it does support some pretty powerful stereotypes we have about men's and women's relationships. Throughout the lecture, you'll see repeated over and over again, and at every age group, that men and boys are more likely to do things with their friends and prioritize activities, and women and girls are more likely to just talk with their friends and prioritize emotional closeness. This is one of those stereotypes that is supported by actual research. But what I want you to remember is that it doesn't mean it's entirely biological. Society and culture play a huge role here. Remember how we covered how little girls are encouraged to talk more, especially about their feelings, than little boys, and how people talk more to little girls than to little boys? Well, it's not surprising that little girls end up talking and sharing more and enjoying it more, as it's something they're reinforced for. And ultimately, that means you end up with adult women who enjoy talking and sharing more in their friendships. In addition, little girls are encouraged to practice relationships. They play house, they play with dolls, but there's likely something biological going on as well. I don't mean to imply that it's 100% nurture. I just want you to remember that both biology and environment play a role in almost every gender difference. Sometimes the role of biology will be more significant, sometimes the role of the environment will be more significant, but it's rarely just one or the other. And it's important to continually remind ourselves of that so we don't fall into patterns of just assuming that's how it's supposed to be, or that's how it'll always be. As a parent, this is a particularly important reminder, as I'm aware of how easy it is to just default to the status quo and how things have always been, and how it's easier to just buy trains and blocks and call it a day and not encourage my son to try playing house or to talk about his feelings. I will say we do a lot of the latter, talking about feelings, but since he's never shown any interest at all in playing with even the little Duplo people that come with his block sets, I'm not holding out much hope for him suddenly wanting to play house.